What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday night here in Manhattan. Unfortunately, it's raining, so we're not going to be skateboarding around the city, but I'm just going to be walking around for about an hour after work. And the topic of the day today is initial public offerings, or IPOs. So we're going to talk about one of the IPOs that just went public today, which is called Didi, which is a Chinese ride-sharing company. And I'm going to detail some of the reasons why I don't invest into initial public offerings right when they hit the market. So we'll talk about that a little bit later in the stream. Hey, Andrew Calhoun is here. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Andrew is our moderator from Australia. Sunshine After Rain is here. Hey, Sunshine, hope your day is well. Hope everybody had a good Wednesday. Happy hump day. Out and About is here from Toronto, Canada. Reels is here. Yo, says Reels, what's going on? Sunshine After Rain. So everybody, I do have to apologize before I start the stream. We don't have any skateboard today. So there's no skateboard. There was a big rainstorm here in Manhattan. So anytime it rains really heavy, it's pretty dangerous to skate. So we're not going to be skating. So we're going to just be taking a quick walk around after work. It was a very busy day today. End of the month, end of the quarter. So a lot of business to be put in. So it was a very successful day. Real says, wow, I'm out of here. I know, man. So I apologize, everybody. No skateboard. Hey, Mark is here. Hey, Andrew, it's your birthday, pal. Happy birthday to Andrew, our moderator. Sierra Friend is in the house. What's up, Sierra Friend? Mark says, are you going to be skateboarding in the rain? I am not, unfortunately. Hey, Lupe is here. Yes, Soho Guy, we are at the Seagram building. We are at the Seagram building. So this is one of my favorite buildings in all New York City. It's right here in Midtown East. So it's not going to be a long stream at all tonight. And I know I say that every stream, but this time it's the truth, I promise. Not a long stream, probably about an hour. Today we're just going to be walking up and down Park Avenue. And I had to abandon the skateboard due to the rainstorm here in Manhattan. But we should see a pretty nice view nonetheless. It's a beautiful night out. Hey, BTK Killer, welcome to the stream, BTK Killer. We're going to be taking a walk around the Upper East Side of Manhattan and talking about IPOs. Hey, Michelle McGraw is here. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Lupe says Wall Street Stroll, bro. Out and About says thank you. Your chats are awesome. Appreciate that, everybody. Hey, Mark Davis is here. Says good evening there, Tom. Hope that all is well with you this evening. Hello from Toronto. So Mark Davis and anybody who's joining, we're here at the Seagram building, but we're not going to be skateboarding tonight because we just had a massive rainstorm in the city. So we do have to abandon the skateboard tonight, but we're going to do a quick 1 hour stream. Hey, Susan says, hi guys. What's up, Susan? Welcome to the chat. We are at the Seagram building, which is my favorite building in New York City. It's on East 52nd Street and Park Avenue. Because this building has two amazing water fountains here. And you have a really nice view of the city from right here. So we can see 432 Park Avenue here. Very beautiful. Cat Gaga the Goddess, hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining, everybody. Sunshine After Rain, hope you had a good day. Lupe, Reels, everybody, welcome. Today in New York City was extremely humid. It was really crazy here. Yeah, it's the lightning just stopped. But I was pretty much in the office all day, and we had a wild rainstorm. But it only lasted for about 15 minutes. Right here on Park Avenue. So unfortunately no skateboarding tonight. But at least we'll have some really nice views because the camera does catch really amazing views, especially after it rains. But the topic of the day today is going to be on initial public offerings. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about that is because we had a viewer, Patrick, New York, that was interested in learning more about the new IPO that IPO'd on the New York Stock Exchange today, called Didi, which is a Chinese ride-sharing company that just went public. So we'll talk about that a little later. So we'll head north. Hey, Reels, are you feeling better from the vaccine, man? You were telling me about and telling everybody that the second vaccine knocked you out. So hopefully you're feeling better. So check out how amazing this building is. This is 432 Park Avenue, right here. Susan says, good podcast to listen English. Yeah. So Real says he recovered, so you're feeling better. That's good. Mark Davis says, Tom, how was your day today? So Mark, my day was extremely busy. So here in the United States, it is the end of the quarter and also the end of the month. So everybody's trying to get sales in, everybody's trying to get deals closed, especially due to the 4th of July. Check out how beautiful this lobby looks here on Park Avenue. Really, really beautiful lobby in this building. So we have the FDNY coming down. We'll check them out. Hey, Suzanne says, I think you can do multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube. Perhaps with Streamlabs you can do it. Yeah, so Mark Davis, it is Canada Day tomorrow. So July 1st is Canada Day. So pretty much everywhere, businesses, I mean, especially a lot of my clients, they said, look, let's get all the deals done. Let's get everything closed up today, because they want to take off on Thursday, which is tomorrow, and Friday, because they want to have an extended 4th of July weekend, which I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. So since the end of the month was today, I was very busy putting in a lot of deals. So I was working all the way up until about 7:30. But it's unfortunate that it was raining today, because we're unable to skateboard around, but we'll have a good conversation. Mark Davis says, Thursday and Friday I am off, Tom. Well, that's awesome. So all of our viewers from Toronto, Canada, happy Canada Day. So Mark, not to sound ignorant here, but if you could just go into touch a little bit, what is like Canada Day? Like, what do you guys do? Is it similar to the 4th of July where everybody has a barbecue and sort of hangs out? Like, what are the traditions that you guys do there in Canada? But yeah, this is the massive, massive apartment building, 432 Park Avenue. Hey, what's up, the Swan? So Mark Davis is kind of like the 4th of July. That's good. So the Swan, unfortunately, we're not going to be skateboarding today. So I left it at home because it was raining like crazy. So we're just going to be walking around for about an hour. And this is the Ferrari dealership right here on Park Avenue. Mark Davis's cottage, country, and get-togethers before the pandemic. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Christopher De Silva's here. Welcome. Cosmo says, wow, it rained there. Didn't rain in Lower East Side where I was. Yeah, Cosmo, the rain was crazy here. So that's why we're not skateboarding tonight, unfortunately. Christopher De Silva says, I got attacked in Wall Street by a skater and he hit me with his skateboard. That's terrible. That's really terrible. I'm sorry that happened to you. But Michael DaCosta, welcome to the chat. Cosmo Scary, hope you had a good day. So today on the New York Stock Exchange, we had DD go public, which is a ride-sharing company that sort of competes with Uber, and they are a very big dominant player in China. However, I never really, anytime that an IPO, the day of the IPO, I never touch the stock. What I'll do is I'll just watch it. So if there's ever a specific company that interests me, I never buy it, probably within the first year of IPO, because there's been multiple studies done that pretty much every company that's ever gone public, within the first year of their IPO, they always undercut their IPO price. And this is for a couple reasons. So the main reason is, if we could just understand what an initial public offering is, it's the transfer of ownership of a company from the private market to the public market. So if you think about what the private market is, you think about venture capital firms, you think about the founders and the owners of these companies, and when they go public via IPO, they're essentially transferring the ownership to institutional investors on Wall Street. So you think mutual funds, you think pension funds, even sometimes sovereign wealth funds, and even retail investors too. So there's usually a very volatile action in terms of trading. So the stocks will have exacerbated price moves up and down. Sometimes the volume is very skew. Maybe there's low volumes on the stock. Maybe there's very high volume. Hey, we have Gerald Lee here. What's up, Gerald? Gerald, we're just going to be walking and talking tonight. Nothing too crazy, because unfortunately there was a rainstorm. So essentially, in order for a big institutional investor to buy a stock when it just IPOs, 9 times out of 10 they'll assign an analyst or an equity research analyst to the stock, because they don't want to make a big investment at first, because they don't know how sustained the earnings or the sales growth is. So let's say pre-IPO, the company was sustaining about 30% revenue growth and 30% earnings growth. But when it hits the public market, institutional investors want to see at least probably about 5 to 6 earnings reports roll through. So they could see what the forward guidance looks like. They can see if they're meeting expectations or beating expectations. And let's say, for example, the company posts amazing earnings. They're growing their earnings at a 25% clip quarter over quarter. And they're growing their sales, their revenue at 25% quarter over quarter. And the valuation is not too frothy. Well, a lot of these mutual fund managers on Wall Street will then start to commit capital to the stock. And when they do that, you have to understand, these big institutions on Wall Street, they're not dealing with, a couple $100,000 or, a few $1,000s as many retail investors or retail traders are dealing with. These people are dealing with billions and billions of dollars. So when they try to make an investment in a specific company, let's say the portfolio manager says, all right, let's commit $100 million to this investment. In order to commit $100 million in stock or in capital to a stock, that buying takes place over the course of weeks or even months sometimes. Because if you just, click, buy on $100 million worth of stock, you're going to send the stock price through the roof. So it goes through something called an institutional due diligence phase. And this is probably within the first year or two that the company goes public. So if the company's reporting good earnings and sales, a lot more institutional investors like the mutual funds will start to buy the stock and accumulate shares at a lower price. In which case, once the company's mature, and let's say if they're projected to increase their revenues and their earnings about 25% for the next 5 years, that's when the stock really makes its advance. So I programmed the Nightbot. If anybody in the chat that's interested, if you type !EVE, so !EVE in the chat, you're going to get an extremely, extremely helpful interview by a lady by the name of Eve Bobach. And Eve Bobach is the author of Lifecycle of Trade, where she gives an in-depth analysis of initial public offerings and how they usually trade and how they're usually valued here on Wall Street. So if you do !EVE, you will be able to see that. And it's over a 5-year study of IPOs here on Wall Street. Hey, what's up, Robert Batista? Welcome to the stream, Robert. Hey, what's up, Soho guy? So this interview is with Eve Bobach on a podcast called Investors Business Daily. So the name of the book is Lifecycle of Trade, which is extremely, extremely fascinating, where her team, they're two portfolio managers, Eve Bobach and Kathy Donnelly. They do an entire analysis on all IPOs, the entire IPO market. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Hey, but Jimmy Anderson's here, says cheers, man. Jimmy back again. Absolutely. Jimmy, so we're not going to be on the skateboard today, unfortunately, because we just finished a massive, massive rainstorm here in Manhattan. So we're just going to be walking around for about an hour. I was going to be on the skateboard, but as you can see, the ground is crazy, crazy slippery. Robert Batista, welcome to the chat. Yeah, so guys, we have the Nightbot working. So if you want to check the weather, Gerald Lee says, I see Fidelity there. What do you think of them? So Fidelity is a big asset manager. I think the second largest in terms of AUM. So they have a lot of good mutual funds and things like that. But here on Park Avenue is where the majority of the investment banks and the majority of hedge funds are on Wall Street. I know Jimmy Anderson says, dude, it poured here. It was crazy, crazy here. I literally walked outside with my skateboard, was ready to skate around, and it just went boom, and the sky just opened up. It was crazy. But this is one of my favorite sculptures. It's by the artist name of Cause, and we've seen this many times on the stream. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah, Gerald Lee says this stream should be unique and different, so I apologize for everybody. No skateboard tonight, so we're not going to have the smoothness and the pace of the skateboard, but hopefully we could just have a relaxing stream, walk and talk, and I appreciate all the new viewers that are here in the chat. Lupus says the rain is so pretty. I know, very, very pretty here. But Jimmy Anderson, glad to see you on the stream again, my friend. But yeah, check them out. These are two powerhouse women on Wall Street. If you want to learn about IPOs, initial public offerings, and why you probably shouldn't buy them when they first become public, you'll learn a lot. One of the companies that I'm bullish on long term, but I would never touch the stock, especially when it just went public, is a company called Snowflake. And it was hyped up like crazy. When this stock went public, it was all over CNBC, it was all in the Wall Street Journal, and everybody was hyping the stock up. And it went up 200, 300%, but now, as the studies show, it's all the way back down below its IPO price. So this is One Vanderbilt, and if you guys can see the lightning in the background, it looks beautiful over the MetLife building near Grand Central Station. Yeah, Sunshine After Rain says it looks like Elmo. Hey, Margarita Ortiz, welcome to the chat. No skateboarding today because it is raining. So Eve Bobach actually worked for the Federal Reserve for 20 years. So she has a wealth of knowledge in relation to this topic. And now Eve Bobach is actually a portfolio manager at Ropel Capital Management in Chicago. And there was also a company that just went public that was called Roblox that everybody was hyped up about. But usually when you have an IPO that's so hyped up, it usually comes to market at an extremely frothy valuation. You could think of something like 30 times sales or something crazy like that. So usually these IPOs, once they become public, they crater like 50% or more. So the price goes down severely. And especially after what's called a lockup period. So after a lockup period, that's when people that work for the company could actually sell their shares and cash out. So again, if you just think about holistically what an IPO means, it's just the transfer of ownership from private ownership. So if you think of venture capital funds, venture capital firms, the founders of those companies, to the private market. That's why it trades so volatile. Yeah, Andrew says, Roblox my kids loved. Yeah, so I think it's a good company, but again, it went public at an extremely high valuation, or what's called froth. Very frothy in the market. So if anybody's interested in the book, it's called Lifecycle of Trade, and it details over 50 years of data in the IPO market. So it was interesting on all of my friends, some of my friends that actually work at Snowflake, when it IPO'd or when it went public, they're like, oh, I can't believe the stock is now trading below than what it IPO'd at. But yeah, very interesting stuff. So we're here at the Hemsley building. Hey, Tariq Nasid says, what the hell are you talking about? We are talking about IPOs in the initial public, which an IPO is an initial public offering. So when a stock goes public, we're talking about why it may not be the best idea to buy it right when it comes on the market. But I appreciate you being here, and thank you for joining as we walk up and down Park Avenue. We usually skateboard around the city and talk about finance or really whatever, really anything else. But tonight, since it rains so profusely, we're just gonna be walking around talking for about an hour. Hey, Ryan Ride says, good evening, Wall Street Skate Bro. Your live stream machine, cheers. Hey, Tariq says, why is it that people who say they are successful in stocks are always broke and have no money to give? Yeah, so Tariq, that is it's a good point. So there's a lot of what you would call charlatans is the word, that say, oh, you should day trade these penny stocks and make $500 a day, right? But that is a very ill-found investment thesis. So what we talk about on this channel is how to do things the proper way and why you should take your investment knowledge into your own hands and start to read and learn from people who actually know what they're talking about and who've spent years working on. I recommend a book that's called One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. And Peter Lynch was one of the most successful mutual fund managers ever of all time. And he worked at a company called Fidelity, and he managed the Fidelity Magellan Fund that has consistently outperformed the market since its inception. And so what we want to do, Tariq, is raise awareness to say, hey, you know, if you're interested in investing, don't look at all these charlatans on YouTube that say, hey, you know, trade penny stocks and make $500 a day, because that is extremely disingenuous and ill-based, especially coming from somebody that has worked on Wall Street for these big hedge funds and pension funds and mutual funds. Because if you look at the data, 99.99999% of day traders lose money. And that's because they're consistently buying companies that have no earnings or sales. So if you think about the most successful companies of our time, you think about Apple, you think about Google, Microsoft, what are some of the commonalities of these companies? And the main commonality is that they all have earnings growth and explosive earnings growth, and they're very disruptive businesses. So what you want to do as an institutional investor is you want to look to buy these companies that have phenomenal earnings and sales growth, and you want to hold them for the long haul, for years. You don't want to day trade or intraday trade. You want to buy good companies and hold them for a long time. So I hope that answers your question, but Tariq, that's a great question, and that's one of the things that frustrates me as well. Because it's so crazy. I don't know about you guys, but I get these advertisements on YouTube about these people like, hey, I have this intraday trading strategy, make $500 a day. And like, I'm like, dude, you are such a charlatan. You are so disingenuous. Like, so please don't buy any of these people's courses. If they're selling trading penny stock courses for $500 online, please don't do that. Just read books from the best investors of all time. So if you think of somebody like Jack Bogle, which is the CEO and founder of the Vanguard Group that unfortunately passed away. And his whole thesis is, look, the majority of portfolio managers on Wall Street do not outperform the market or the broader index, which is the S&P 500. So what the majority of people should do is dollar cost average into a low cost index fund for the life of your investment career, and you will have money for retirement if you just do that. Not this crazy intraday trading, buying meme stocks. It's all garbage. It's all nonsense. But anyway, guys, so we are here at One Vanderbilt. We're here at One Vanderbilt, which is a brand new tower that they just built right outside of Grand Central Station. So it looks beautiful in here. So I'll catch up on the comments. And again, I apologize, everybody, that I'm not on the skateboard. But Tariq, welcome to the chat, welcome to the channel. So if you want some book recommendations, if you do !book, the Nightbot will drop some pretty interesting books that I think are very, very helpful. One of them is Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Phil Fisher. I think everybody should read that book. Hey, Gerald Lee says, I saw that people in New York City were getting alerts on their phones today to cut back on electricity use because of danger of rolling blackouts. Yeah, so Gerald Lee, I got that same message today. It was sort of like an Amber Alert on my phone to say, please turn off your air conditioner. So I got that too. So I think what happens is when it's super, super hot out, what happens is we put so much strain on the power grid that we could cause like a circuit breaker to blow. Back in 2013 or 2003 to 2013, we had multiple blackouts in the city. Hey, Fernando's here. What's up, Fernando? Hey, Jonathan C's here. What's up, Jonathan? Gerald Lee says, I heard there was a blackout in New York City in 2003. Yes. Josh D. What's up, Josh? What's up, Jonathan C? Yeah, so the Nightbot. So here are some of my favorite books about investing. So instead of, going on the internet and spending all this money on a course, I would just strongly recommend just reading books and educating yourself. So the first book that the Nightbot put in is How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill, which is the owner and founder of Investors Business Daily. The second one, I believe, is One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. And then Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Phil Fisher, and Margin of Safety by Seth Klarman. But it's interesting, the Margin of Safety by Seth Klarman is actually not in print anymore. And if you want to buy the book, it's actually, I think it's about $2,000 just for the book, which is crazy, but you can get it online for free. Robert Batiste is here. And guys, I'm not sure if you can see this, but check out the rain. It is raining once again in the city. Jonathan C, how are you, my friend? Hope you had a good day. Hey, Leah's here, says hello everyone. Hi, Wall Street, always watching. Leah, thank you for watching. We're not on the skateboard today because it is raining. But we have a nice view of the Chrysler building here in the rain. And I'm not sure if you guys could see that, but check out the lightning. That looks really cool. But Leah, always good to have you here. Yeah, so Michael DaCosta clicked !Druck, which will put out a really good video about the 2021 Student Investment Fund annual meeting by Stanley Druckenmiller, and he's one of the best investors of all time, Stanley Druckenmiller. Wow, that's amazing. Look at the lightning. Leah, I hope you had a good day. The rain almost looks like snow here. It's really wild. But I appreciate all of the new viewers. We have a lot of new people joining the channel, so I hope everybody's enjoying it. We usually skateboard around New York City, but today with the rain, we're gonna have to make do with walking, so. And we're right here at Grand Central Station on Vanderbilt Avenue and 42nd Street in Pershing Square. And then this is the Chrysler building right in here. Wow, we're gonna have a crazy lightning show tonight. Cosmo Scary says, anyone doing anything cool for the 4th of July? Cosmo, I'm going out to Long Island on the 4th of July. So, city. But Cosmo, what about you? Are you doing anything crazy? Doing anything fun? So right in front of us is the Salesforce Tower, which is a software company. And the CEO is Mark Benioff. And Salesforce actually just made a big acquisition, a huge acquisition of a company called Slack. And Slack actually went public, but Salesforce took them over and they bought them. So I think it's going to be, I think it's going to work out really good for Salesforce. That was a good acquisition by Mark Benioff. Hey, Soho guy, what's up, man? Soho, you did anything crazy for the 4th of July? So this is 1 Vanderbilt. Hey, Wendy's here. What's up, Wendy? We're walking today because it's so rainy out. It's crazy. So unfortunately, no skateboarding today, guys. It is way too rainy. Hey, the Swan says one of the main high-tech companies about 10 years ago was offered $44.5 billion for a takeover, another major company. They declined. About 5 years later, it was sold for under $5 billion. Yeah, that happens a lot. Hey, Daily Soul Live Cameras here says, I remember Slack back from their glitch days. It's wild to see how big they've become, I know. So Daily Soul Live Camera, I actually have a couple friends who work for Slack, and they were so excited when they went public. But Salesforce, which is a software company that makes CRM software, and CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management Software. And I think that it was a great acquisition. You know, Mark Benioff is arguably one of the best CEOs of all time, especially one of the best tech or software CEOs of all time. So Mark Benioff actually has a really, really good book that came out. I read his book. Hey, Julie's here. Says, oh wow, NYC, thank you. Photos from around New York is here. What's up, photos from around New York? And it is pouring raining here in Manhattan. Pouring raining here in the city. Wow.
Well, it looks like it's
Hey, Razzle Dazzle's here. Hey, what's up, Razzle Dazzle? Says hello from Cali. Hope our favorite skateboarder is doing good. So Razzle Dazzle, we're doing really good. But we're not skateboarding tonight. We're just walking around because look at the rain. We have a crazy, crazy rainstorm here. I'm not sure if anybody can see that, but check out how crazy it's coming down. Wow. Hey, Oscar Fish says hi from New Zealand. What's up, Oscar? I don't think I've seen you on the channel before, so welcome. Hope you're good. Hey, Jessica Santiago, what's going on? Wow, it is really, really coming down here. Wow. Yeah, Wendy, I think the rain is actually going to be a good thing because it was over 100 degrees in the city today. It's really, really wild in the city today. Reels says, imagine a couple under an umbrella kissing in the street. Perfect movie scene. Reels, that would be awesome, awesome cinematography right there, my friend. What's up, the Swan? No umbrellas needed. Yeah, out and about. We're under the little construction area here. Hey, Lady Orleans is definitely a short stream tonight. Yeah, Lady Orleans, we don't even have this skateboard. We're just walking around tonight, so we're not doing anything crazy. We're just walking, no skateboard tonight. Yeah, we're under scaffolding, yep. Lupe says, oh my, hope you stay dry, Tom. Although I love getting wet. Dance in the rain. Hey, Zap Allen's here. What's up, Zap Allen? We're here in a New York City rainstorm. Oscar Fish says, doing good. Saw this on my recommended, so I thought I'd check it out. Been very interesting listening. Well, Oscar, thank you for being here. Oscar, we usually skateboard around the city and talk about finance and investing, but today, unfortunately, we got rained out, so we're just gonna have to walk. So we're happy to have you here, Oscar, and welcome. And I hope you're doing well in New Zealand. Yeah, Zap Allen says, so much rain, be careful. Cosmos said, glad to be inside in my 65-degree room. Hey Cosmos, so did you get that message from New York City today that said, please turn off your air conditioning or else we're gonna have a rolling blackout? Whoa, look at that. Zap Allen says, I didn't get a notification on my phone. Zap Allen, I think you have to click turn on all notifications. Hey, photos from around New York is here. It says, weather for New York City tomorrow. High of 81, heavy rain is expected and thunderstorms. Thank you for that. Photos from around New York. Gerald Lee says, brings to mind the song Laughter in Rain by Neil Sedaka. I don't think I've ever heard of that, Gerald Lee. Wendy says, singing in the rain, yeah. Oscar Fish, welcome to the channel, my friend. Cosmo Scary says, haha, what are you implying, Tom? I should raise the temperature? Yeah, Cosmo, so around like 2 p.m., I got this like automated alert system by New York City to my phone that says, please turn off all electronic devices, appliances, air conditioners, or else we're gonna have a rolling blackout in New York City. Cosmo Scary says, yes, I got it actually when I was shopping for fruit in Union Square. Wow, it's really coming down. Check that out, guys. Wow. It's coming down like crazy here in New York. Yeah, Lupe says turn the lights off at Times Square. It's pouring, says Jessica. So thank you to all the new viewers. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the rainstorm here in New York City. Hey, Sammy's here. Sammy says I will come pick you up and drive you. Wow. Lupe is our pal from Oklahoma. She says, I love the rain. Lady Orleans, how was your day today? I hope you had a good one. Happy hump day. Oh! Is he okay? Damn. Oh my God. Did anybody just see that? Oh my gosh, I hope he's alright. One man swim says LOL, loud hardcore rain bro. I'm in Brooklyn. Well, welcome to the stream. Wow guys, crazy here. I hope he's alright. I think he's alright. Hey, Manny Explorers is here. What's up, Manny? So Manny also does awesome walking tours in New York. So for everybody that's joining, we usually don't walk around New York City. We usually just skateboard around New York City and talk about finance. But today we got rained out, so we are forced to just walk around. Yeah, Oscar says the cop really splashed me there. So welcome to our viewers from Brooklyn, New York. Sammy, welcome to the chat, Sammy. I know Lupe's was the four-man fell. It's terrible. He ran away so fast, so I couldn't even, help him up. Hey, Peace Ghost is here. Welcome, Peace Ghost. Is financing on the board in the rain. Yep, so we don't have the skateboard today, unfortunately, but at the beginning of the show we talked about initial public offerings. So if anybody wants to rewatch the replay, we go into detail about initial public offerings and why it's actually not a good idea to buy them right as they come on the market. But Peace Ghost, I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Hope you're having a great week, and welcome to the stream. Hey, Deborah S. Welcome, Deborah. It's raining like crazy out, guys. One man swish to stay safe, bro. Thank you so much. One man swish is joining us from Brooklyn, New York. One man swish. I used to live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, but then I moved to Manhattan. Greenpoint, Brooklyn was really, really amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Miguel Gonzalez is in the house. What's up, Miguel? I hope you're well. Hey, Sunshine, New York. Out and about says, don't get splashed with dirty rain puddles. That's the worst, I know. Zap Balance is, I think, at 1,000, you can apply for your channel to be monetized with ads. That would be cool. Yeah, it would. I respect the food delivery guys so much. Huge respect to them. Wow, check out this light storm here in the city. Beautiful. Let's see if we can see any more lightning. I'm glad I didn't bring the skateboard tonight, guys. Jonathan C says it's going to rain tomorrow. Jonathan, I think it's going to rain all day tomorrow. Wow, check out that lightning storm. Beautiful. Whoa. Lady Orleans says a lot of lightning. Sunshine New York says I love the rain. Hey, Jessica Santiago says I hear thunder so loud here in the Bronx. Jessica, I hope you're well. Long time no see. I hope everything is well with you. That balances. The city looks like another place when it rains. Yeah, One Man Swish says rain, a good time to relax. Nadia AM says, how long does it usually rain? How long does the rain usually last over there? Usually in New York, when it rains, it pours like for a good 20 minutes and then it stops. I know Lady Orleans says, Tom, it's supposed to rain all weekend, which sucks because it's the 4th of July weekend in the United States. But tomorrow, for all of our Canadian viewers, it is Canada Day. So happy Canada Day to everybody that's tuning in. From Canada. Check out how beautiful the lightning is, everybody. Hey, Daniel D says, I was just about to say goodnight, Tom, but I guess it's not yet. So for everybody that's just tuning in, the Nightbot just dropped the reading list that I suggest. But Daniel, I'm doing very well. I got your email, Daniel. Thank you so much. I did reply to your email, Daniel. So Daniel is a viewer from Argentina, from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Peace Ghost is water resistant, yes. Coming down in buckets. So the Nightbot just dropped the most recommended books that I would recommend anybody to get involved in if they want to start investing. Which would be Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Phil Fisher. And Phil Fisher is the founder and the creator of Fisher Investments here on Wall Street. Cosmo Scary says, are any of these books good to listen to in audio format? They're very good to listen to in audio format. Hey, Lady Orleans says, exclamation point coffee. We actually do have coffee in the Nightbot. So it says, skate over to these New York City coffee shops, Black Press Coffee and Gasoline Alley Coffee. So every stream I will feature one of my favorite coffee shops. So Daniel, I would suggest, if you want to read about investments every day, I would look to subscribe to Investors Business Daily, and it's a newspaper just like the Wall Street Journal, but it's mainly geared towards institutional investors because it goes in depth about companies' earnings and all that stuff. Hey, Peter Greenwood is here. What's up, Peter? I hope you're well. Peter says, is this live streaming? Yeah, Peter, we are live now. So welcome to the channel. Peter, here we usually skateboard around New York City. and talk about finance. But tonight we're just hanging out, walking around in the rain. Gerald Lee says that poor guy was drenched, no umbrella, I know. So check out the lightning, everybody, in the Salesforce Tower. So this is Salesforce Tower, which is a software company that makes CRM software or customer relationship management software. And the CEO is Mark Benioff, and they just made a big acquisition of a company called Slack, which competes with like a Microsoft Teams or something like that. So since we have the light, we'll make our way over. So I'll stop talking and we'll make our way over to the next one. It looks like we're gonna get stuck at the light, guys. Yeah, Daniel G says you use Slack every day. Slack is a great company, and Salesforce just purchased Slack. Yes, exclamation point out. Please check out our friend Out and About. Hey, Keith Patz. What's up, Keith? Says that's God and Mother Nature cleaning the streets. Yeah, we need it, Keith. So welcome to the stream. I don't think we've seen you before in the chat, Keith, so welcome, and I hope you're having a great week. Yeah, Mark Davis, happy Canada Day, and it is pretty crazy here. Very hard downpouring. All right, so we finally have the light. Oh, look at these people. They don't have any umbrella. That sucks. So we are here at the New York Public Library in the rain. We usually skateboard around the city on this channel, but unfortunately today it's raining, so no skateboarding, so we're just gonna walk and talk in the pouring rain. Oh, these guys don't have an umbrella either, that sucks. I know Keith says, oh my God, a baby carriage. I know, it stinks. Hey Sammy, what's up? Hey Real says this is New York's drip. We are at 42nd Street, Bryant Park. Woodstock Envy says you have a New York accent. Cool. Well, Woodstock, I don't think I've seen you on the stream, so welcome to all of the new viewers. We appreciate everybody being here. We usually ride around on a skateboard and talk about finance, but tonight we got rained out. Hey, the ABX girl is here. So everybody, the ABX girl is a new viewer. And last night's stream, we had an amazing conversation with the ABX girl because she is a veteran of Wall Street. She used to work on Wall Street for many years in Times Square. So if anybody wants to watch the replay of last stream, we had a great conversation about investments, and the ABX girl contributes a lot to this channel. So welcome, ABX girl. Woodstock is in upstate New York too, which is great. Juice is Oi from Brazil. Welcome from Brazil, everybody. So when it rains in New York, look at the river that flows all the way down the street. Cosmo Scary says Brazil is one of the top 5 countries to visit. I really want to visit Brazil as well. Lady Orleans says, please don't forget to click that like button. Thank you so much. So we are at 1114 Avenue of the Americas, right near Bryant Park, which is right around the corner from where I used to work at 1166 Avenue of the Americas. And we could actually see the Empire State Building a little bit from here, right here. The Swan says, usually the rain brings a cold breeze with it too. I love that. Ju from Brazil, welcome to the stream. Mark Davis says, doing good here, Lizzo, out and about. Happy Canada Day tomorrow. So for all of our Canadian viewers, happy Canada Day. Hey, Gregory Kelly says, is it still hot with the rain? So Gregory, it was crazy, crazy hot today. It was really, really disgusting out. So I think this is good needed rain. The reflection of the lights is amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful out in the city today. Out and About says, if you count the number of seconds between the flash of lightning and the sound of thunder, and then divide by 5, I'm assuming we could see how far away the storm is. You'll get the distance in miles to the lightning. 5 seconds equals 1 mile, 15 seconds equals 3 miles, 0 seconds equals very close. Thank you, Out and About. It's really cool. So it looks like it's stopping raining, so we'll just walk around. We're here at Bryant Park, right here on 42nd Street, in between 6th Avenue, or Avenue of the Americas, and 5th Avenue. Yeah, the Swan says 0 seconds equals run. So we're looking at Salesforce Tower. So Mark Benioff actually came out with a really, really good book. So if anybody's interested, Google Mark Benioff, which is the CEO of Salesforce. His book was amazing. I read it about a year ago. Maybe I'll revisit it. But it details his life and how he built Salesforce, how he knew Steve Jobs. The ABX girl says, when did you start? How much did I miss? The ABX girl, we started about 58 minutes ago. But at the beginning of the stream, we were just highlighted topic of initial public offerings, because a very popular name IPO today on the New York Stock Exchange, Didi, which is a Chinese ride-hauling company. So I was explaining a little bit about a book that one of my acquaintances came out with, Eve Bobach and Kathy Donnelly, called The Lifecycle of Trade, where they did a 5-year study of all the past initial public offerings and about why it's not advantageous to purchase shares of stock right as the company goes public. So we've been going for about an hour, had a good conversation. One of the things I like about rain in New York is all the cars look so clean, especially at night. Everything looks so crisp. Photos from around New York says, not sure if anybody asked yet. Tom, how was your day? My day was very, very busy. Here it is the end of the month and end of the quarter. So a lot of customers were very demanding today, but the good news, photos from around New York, is pretty much everybody's taken off for the rest of the week for the 4th of July. So since today is June 30th, all of my clients were like, look, any deals we have to get in, let's get them in now because we are taking off for Thursday and Friday. So we're gonna have a nice long weekend. We should be able to enjoy it. Wow, Bryant Park is absolutely flooded. You can't even walk through here. Check this out. So everybody, we are at Bryant Park, right outside of the Bank of America Tower. Look at how crisp and clean the sky looks after it rains. Lupe Lupe's is when it rains, I'm at home and it's like a horror movie. And you like to watch horror movies, okay? The ABX girl says that's right, wait about 6 months. Yep, you're absolutely right. It's cool that ABX girl worked on Wall Street, so she brings a lot of value to the chat. But the book ABX girl, if you want to check it out, or if anybody types !Eve in the chat, it'll drop a link. I programmed the bot to drop a link to an interesting podcast by Investors Business Daily. It's Arusha Pires interviewing Eve Bobach. She's an extremely, extremely smart lady. Look at this kid playing in the rain. Wow. So Eve Bobach is an extremely smart lady, and she worked for the Federal Reserve for 20 years. And now she's a portfolio manager at Ropel Capital Management. And Ropel Capital Management was created and founded by a guy named Jim Ropel, which I know quite well. And Jim is just a fantastic, fantastic guy, and they run about $100 million. And they're based out of the Chicago area. And their whole investment thesis of the hedge fund is CAN SLIM investing. So if anybody's familiar with CAN SLIM, it's essentially an investment thesis that's founded in very, very high growth stocks. So if you think about software as a service companies, like all the big winners over the past couple of years. So if you think about your Salesforce, your Oracle, your CrowdStrike, your Zscaler, Fortinet, all the cybersecurity companies with extremely high revenue and earnings growth, that's sort of the investment thesis of the hedge fund. Look at all the water pouring out of Bryant Park. It rains so much that Bryant Park is actually flooded. Yeah, Reels is leaking. It's crazy out. This is the ABX girl. Feel free to check out that interview. And we are outside the Bank of China in New York City. Yeah, Reels, it's weird walking right now. We're so used to being on the skateboard. I'm not used to walking around. The antagonizers here says, did the rain stop? I think it just stopped right now.
Okay.
It's Miguel Gonzalez, Fernando.
No. On
Coney Island subway. Joe Hernandez says, you sure the statue isn't going to the bathroom? That's funny. All right, everybody, so we will walk to Macy's on 34th Street and then we'll call it a night. I appreciate everybody joining. A little bit different stream tonight. We're not cruising around on the skateboard, but nonetheless, we got to experience the rainstorm. The ABX girl says, did Con Ed lower the wattage due to heat? Yeah, so the ABX girl, I got a text message, like an automated Amber Alert type deal, that said, please turn off your AC or else we're gonna have rolling blackouts in New York. And I think that's because they shut down the Indian Point nuclear power plant. The antagonizer says you must have gotten drenched. We had an umbrella, thank God. That must be dangerous working in the hole like that. The Swan says, can you get Dunlop tires on the skateboard? Like for the bad weather, surprise, surprise. If not today's world, yeah. So unfortunately, the Swan, we can't, so we're gonna have to make do with just walking around. But we're now on West 37th Street, an Avenue of the Americas. After a massive rainstorm here in New York. Whoa. Well, the Swan, get ready because we're about to see a beautiful view of the Empire State Building. Reels says, bro, do an ollie for old time's sake. Reels, you know what? Everybody's been asking me that every stream, so maybe on the next stream, I'll break out some of the old tricks. But I appreciate all of the new viewers. We have a ton of new people on the stream watching the channel. So thank you everybody for subscribing and liking the video. Hey, out and about says I had bulgogi Korean lunchbox today in Toronto's Koreatown. That sounds amazing, out and about. Peace Ghost is happy to be here. Well, happy to have you here, Peace Ghost. I love that channel name, by the way, Peace Ghost. Love that. So now we're coming up on the Shake Shack. Zap balance is 132. And Bush, we got him at gunpoint, cops. We could start a GoFundMe for your hospital bill, Reels. I know, bro, imagine. I know. Joe Hernandez says, if you don't hear sirens, it won't be New York City. Hey, Ellie, the original's here. So we're coming up on the Empire State Building on 34th Street. Yeah, Ellie, the original. The lightning was really bad tonight, but it looked amazing. It looked great. I think the city looks beautiful at night, especially when it rains. And I think this was much needed because the city was all sticky and there was a lot of dust and a lot of junk around. So I'm glad it rained, especially at night. The Swan says, skateboarder, do you feel safe walking about or safer skateboarding about? I definitely feel safer skateboarding just because it's my natural element. Hey, Brooklyn is in the house. What's up, Brooklyn? Brooklyn says, didn't know it rained. Yeah, Brooklyn, it rained like crazy today. Wild, wild rain. Zap balance is exactly. I was going to say that, Tom. The city looks so much cleaner after the rain. But Brooklyn, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Robbo says, if there's a blackout in New York City, the looting is going to be insane. Rebel Poet 71 says, Queens here, it rained here just now. Heavy. Well, welcome, Rebel Poet. So actually, 2 years ago, there was actually a big blackout in the city, but I believe the power only went out on Manhattan's west side. So anywhere from Columbus Circle up, there was absolutely no power. I remember that. It was crazy. There wasn't any looting, but it was wild nonetheless. So everybody, if we could get an exclamation point SWAN in the chat. So if everybody could type in the chat exclamation point SWAN for the Empire State Building. Ellie the original says, my mom lived in New York City in the 70s when the original blackout happened, and there was tons of looting in Brooklyn. Wow. Hey, Rafael is from Brazil. Welcome from Brazil. So the Nightbot says, hello, welcome back. Rebel Poet, what's up, Rebel Poet? Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you on here before, so welcome. It says, few years ago, there was a massive blackout all through the East Coast, even from Rochester, New York. Wow. So the Nightbot says Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. There we go, the Swan, that's for you. Real says I only loot on Call of Duty. That's funny. That's really funny. Rebel Poet 71 says I'm new. Well, welcome. We usually skateboard around the city, but due to the rain, we did have to cancel tonight, so we're just walking around. So welcome to the stream. And so they redecorated Macy's for all the fireworks for the 4th of July. So everybody, welcome Rebel Poet 71. Hey, Sally Scipio. Welcome, Sally. Also, is probably another viewer. I don't think I've seen you here, so welcome. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We're here at 34th Street, Herald Square, where Macy's put up their fireworks sort of display here. Hey, Robo F says, prepare thyself. If there's a blackout, the city is going to get dangerous out. Potentially, I hope not, but potentially. Super Friends in the City says, do you wear a suit to work? So I used to wear a suit every single day, but ever since the pandemic, everybody's been pretty much working remote. But I actually just went on a couple in-person appointments where I actually did wear a suit for the first time in a long time. And here we are at the Empire State Building. Sally, yes, hello newbies, says the ABX girl, says hello Sally, thank you so much. Hey, Orland Edwards is here, what's up Orland? Joe Hernandez says 1977 blackout was the worst. That must have been wild. Photos from around New York says the blackout extended into Canada as well. Ellie the Original says I'm addicted to playing Call of Duty. I'm not a big video game player, but there's a lot of people that are really good at those type of video games. So we are at the Macy's 4th of July fireworks here. Just at Macy's, they decorated the building for the fireworks. I will not be in the city for the fireworks. I'll actually be out on Long Island. Rebel Poet 71 says from Ohio to New York to Canada. Wow. So the last time there was a blackout, it was about 2 years ago. And I remember it. I was working at the time in my old office in Midtown on a weekend, and everything just went dark. And so I went outside and I walked to Columbus Circle, and I met up with my friend Jesus, and everybody was drinking beers out in the street, partying, and they were all like civilians that were helping direct traffic. It was crazy. I believe this was 2 years ago, the blackout happened, about 2 years ago. So we are at 34th Street and Broadway. The ABX girl says 2003, all NYPD was out, no looting. So ABX girl, I believe you said you were from the Bronx. So do you remember about 2 years ago, all the power went out on the west side of Manhattan? I believe that was 2 years ago. Or was that last year? I forget. Brooklyn says, yeah, it was about 2 years ago. Got it. The Swan says, skateboarder, you didn't invite us to meet your friend Jesus yet. So the Swan, we actually did meet Jesus on the first live stream I did. Jesus is one of my very good pals. I've known him for a long, long time. He's a homeless guy here in New York. And I've been seeing him ever since I was a kid. He's a great guy. Hey, Sunshine, New York. Hope you had a good day. Hope you're not too busy, Sunshine, today. Hope you had a good, relaxing day. Ellie the Original says, I love The Sims. I only play Sims 3. Okay. That's awesome. Orland Edwards says, I'm good, Tom. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing really well today. I was very busy at work for the end of the quarter, end of the month. But the good thing is everybody's pretty much off now for the 4th of July weekend. Everybody is sort of taking off without taking off, so to speak. Hey, Rafael says, BC speaks some sources in Portuguese, Brazil. Welcome. Daniel G says, is it too noisy there, Tom? Yeah, it's a little bit noisy tonight. Sunshine New York says, hey Tom, extremely busy today. I'm winding down now. Yeah, I was extremely busy too, Sunshine, so I'm just winding down, just walking around with everybody. No skateboarding tonight, but we're doing our best. But welcome, Rafael from Brazil. Welcome to the chat. You like the pink hoodie, Cosmo? I do too. So we're at 34th Street, Herald Square. Peace Ghost says, Tom, stream all the time for us. We need you. So Peace Ghost, we usually stream about 5 days a week, but we're usually on a skateboard, so we zip around the city pretty fast. So if you want to see more, please join the channel. Hey, Arthur Lopez says, hey, Wall Street Skate Bro, my first time in your channel, I just subscribed. Well, Arthur Lopez, welcome to the channel, and I hope you had a great week. We usually skateboard around the city and talk finance, but just tonight, due to the rain, we are only walking around. So, you know, a little bit different, a little bit of a different stream with the walking instead of the skateboarding, but yeah, this is a very interactive chat room. I think we have a lot of very bright, brilliant, and interesting people from all over the world, so it gives us a good perspective of what's out there. We talk a lot about different types of food, stuff like that. So welcome to the chat. Our new friend, Arthur Lopez. Welcome, Arthur. Yeah, Rebel Poet 71 says, look like there's some tourists. Sunshine New York says, appreciate your live streams. Oscar Fish, if you don't mind me asking, what's your job? So Oscar, I am in software sales. So, in tech sales. So before the pandemic, I would mainly focus on selling into the healthcare sector. Oh, this is the new Vanderbilt building, One Vanderbilt. Beautiful, beautiful building. But before the pandemic, I would focus on selling electronic visit verification software into home healthcare agencies, nursing homes, and big doctors' offices. So I was in med tech, software sales, and telecom. And once the pandemic hit, I left the company to try to start my own technology consulting business, which is what I do now. So I advise my clients on migration from their legacy infrastructure to the cloud, things like that. So yesterday on the stream, we were talking about a very interesting client that I'm working with in the remote patient monitoring space. And what we're trying to do is create an environment where patients no longer have to remember to take their medications or to take their blood pressure or do any of that sort of stuff. And the goal is to lower the hospital remittance rates. So if we can go to a primary care physician like a doctor and have them issue a remote patient monitoring solution that automatically backhauls all of the patient data to the cloud that's fully secure and HIPAA compliant, now the doctors can monitor their patients from anywhere in the world, and they can see if anything's going wrong. They can monitor their pulse ox, anything like that. And something that's really interesting is that a lot of these remote patient monitoring devices run on Wi-Fi or a Wi-Fi network. But what we've found is, and we've done some studies, that patients need most of their care during times of emergency. So for example, right now, let's say if the power went out and it's really, really hot in an apartment of somebody that's an elderly person, if you don't have any Wi-Fi, that remote patient monitoring device is not going to work. So we partnered with this company to actually insert an LTE SIM card into this device. So even if the power goes out, the doctors will always be able to monitor their patients remotely because they'll be able to have a steady and reliable internet connection at all times. So that's the sort of space I'm in. I really like tech. Originally, I wanted to work on Wall Street in investment banking or sales and trading. But everything in Silicon Valley was just so interesting to me about all the new products and services. So I went into tech sales. So I hope that answers your question. What about you? What do you do, if you don't mind me asking? Hey, Global One, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you, Global One. We have a lot of interesting people in the chat with a lot of interesting jobs. We have a lot of nurses here. Arthur Lopez is watching from my work, enjoying the stream. Thank you, Arthur. Raphael says, congratulations on your wonderful live. Thank you, Raphael. Oscar Fish says, oh cool, seems like you've got a lot of useful experience and your knowledge. The industry you're in now seems like the 21st century. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just interested in new emerging technologies, mainly in the software space. But Oscar, what about you? What do you do for a living? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to, but just curious. Zap Allen says, Tom, you have a radio voice. I think that's one of the reasons people like your channel. Well, that's very kind of you to say, Zap Allen. Thank you so much for being so kind. Hey, the Swan says, it's nice to get a break from the skateboard too, no harm. Yeah. I think the skateboard offers a little bit of a different perspective, but one of the things that I think I've noticed is that when I'm on the skateboard crushing around the city, I think we can miss a little bit of details, right? Because we're going so fast. So I think it's good to change it up every now and then. So maybe every time it rains, we'll just switch to a walking stream as opposed to a skateboarding stream. Out and About says, are your clients mainly in the States? Yes. So Out and About, the majority of my clients are here in the Northeast, but I actually did just secure some clients in Korea. So I'm super excited about that. Really excited. But the only thing about that is Korea is a ridiculous time zone. So for example, if it's 9 o'clock in the morning in New York City, it's 10 p.m. in Korea. So right now is when all my clients are up and wanting to talk to me. But yeah, that's a good question, Out and About. Sunshine New York says, hope everybody is doing good tonight. Hey, Global One says, I've heard many streamers recommend your channel. Happy to finally meet you. Global One, happy to finally meet you as well. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you're having a great week. Happy 4th of July if you're in the United States. Hey, Scream Orange says, I conduct evaluations of community development programs locally and international. Wow, that's really interesting. So Scream Orange, you conduct evaluations of community development programs locally and internationally. So do you work very closely with governments, like local municipalities? Like what specifically are some of the programs you're working on, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'd be interested to know that. So Scream Orange, I'd be very interested to know that. James Brunley says, watching from North California, not looking forward to fire season, glad to see normal everyday life in the city. Well, James, please stay safe, my friend. I mean, I've been watching a lot of that California wildfire stuff on the news and also reading about it in the paper. So please be safe. You know, hopefully you guys get much needed rain like we just had here in New York. Hopefully that heads over your way to kind of calm things down. But James, welcome to the chat. I don't think we've seen you before here. So happy to have you here, and best wishes from New York to California. So we're here at the new Penn Station, well, the front of the Madison Square Garden. Which is not the most ideal place to be, in my opinion, but we'll bang a left here and we'll go to Koreatown, which Koreatown is one of my favorite places in New York City. So if you're gonna visit New York, you gotta go to Koreatown. It has some of the best restaurants. And we cover that too on the stream. My favorite restaurant in the city is called Take 31 on West 31st Street. So this is the new entrance to Penn Station. I'll show you guys real quick. Right here. So Oscar Fish says, currently in service, so I work in a local pharmacy, not nearly as interesting, but it's pretty steady job, especially in times like these, so I'm grateful for that. Oscar Fish, that's extremely important. We need pharmacists, so that's awesome, Oscar. That's amazing, that's a great job, that's a great career. One of the things I like about streaming is just the diversity we have on here. We have people that work on Wall Street. We have people that are teachers. We actually met a teacher on the last stream that works in a New York City public school. So we got to see an amazing perspective of that. We have nurses. We have people that are first responders. So we appreciate all of our first responders. So it's pretty cool. hold on, I'll pull off to the side here so I can read a little bit more of the comments. But I always like to sort of watch my back here at Penn Station, so hold on. So this is the front of the Madison Square Garden. Arthur Lopez is watching from Portugal, 3:40 a.m. here. Wow, well thank you for watching. Hey, this is 6th Street. Is it what 6th? 6th Street?
Yeah.
Oh no, 6th Street is way down there. This is 32nd Street.
No, I'm saying, so you see how this is 7th Ave?
Oh, 7th Ave, 6th Avenue, yeah.
6th Ave,
Here.
okay.
I thought you said 6th Street. Sorry about that. I thought they said, is this 6th Street? I was like, no, bro, this is 34th Street. But he was asking about the avenue, so yeah, he's good. James Brumley. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss a comment, guys. Apologize. Hey, Joe Hernandez says, does monitoring system you describe the same like ADT monthly fees? And does insurance help the cost? Yeah, so in a remote patient monitoring solution, hold on one second. In a remote patient monitoring solution, it's reimbursable by Medicare and Medicaid. But all you have to do is you have to prove that the remote patient monitoring solution that you're providing to your patients are actually lowering the hospital remittance rates. And one of the reasons why they want to do that is because it saves taxpayers a lot of money, right? So the government would much rather give a stipend of $20 or $30 per device per month to remotely monitor these patients as opposed to paying for a $30,000 a night hospital bill. Because if you look at the data, and I think we talked about it on the last stream, unfortunately, one of the biggest reasons why a lot of these patients get remitted back to the hospital is because they forget to take their medications, unfortunately, or maybe they ate something they weren't supposed to eat. So they're forced to go back to the hospital. But if you have a device that can remotely monitor them, and then your doctor can actually log in to a secure cloud portal, you could send reminders, and you could even do telehealth conferencing calls on these devices. So it's pretty, I think technology is really gonna advance healthcare and do a lot of good. So, hopefully it also saves taxpayers a lot of money too, and insurance companies. This is actually the American Cancer Society right here. I'll pull off to the side so I can catch up on the comments. Hold on. And then we'll do one lap in Koreatown. Oscar Fish, yeah, thank you for that. Out and About says, how do you get your clients? Do you advertise your business? So mainly the majority of the clients I have right now are the clients that I brought with me from my existing book of business at my old company. So from all of the deals, I closed a lot of big deals at my old tech company. And when I started my own business, I just went back to my existing clients and said, hey, whenever you need to renew, your software licenses, you need to add more licenses, just do it through my consultancy. And we won't charge you any consulting fees, and we just get commission on the sale of the software. So you can consider it sort of like an MSP or a managed service provider. So the structure is sort of like a VAR, if anybody knows what that is. All right, so we're right here at the Empire State Building. Lupe says, I smell like old books at the end of the day. Hey, Scream Orange says, yes, many of these local programs are funded by the state government, such as SNAP Ed, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which teaches folks about healthy eating. Wow, that's awesome. That's fantastic. That's really good. I can get behind that. Teaching people about healthy eating. That's great. That's doing the world a very good service. Hey, Johnny C says, I'm old and retired and enjoying your show, young man. Well, Johnny C, we're happy to have you here. Enjoy your retirement, pal. You deserve it. You probably worked extremely, extremely hard during your day. So we appreciate your service to the economy. So thank you for your contributions. And thank you for joining the channel, Johnny C. We usually skateboard around Manhattan, so feel free to join on other streams as well. Scream Orange says other programs like maternal and child health are funded by organizations such as the UN or the United Nations. That's fantastic information. Joe Hernandez is exactly a good plan. Lady Orleans says, has Jack's World opened? Jack's World, is that 99-cent store, Lady Orleans? We'll take a pass by it. I think it's like a 99-cent store, but I've never been there in my life. I've only walked past it. Oscar Fish says that does sound like a very economically viable solution all around. Yeah, I think the goal is to just keep patients out of the hospital because it costs a lot and it's not comfortable for them. Patients would rather be at home with their family and their friends, or even if they live alone. So if we can make life as comfortable as possible on these patients and on these elderly people, I think it's going to be a big win-win for everybody. Nobody wants to be stuck in a hospital. So if we can give them their health care virtually with remote patient monitoring and telehealth, I think it's going to create quite a holistic solution for everybody. So this is Lady Orleans wanted us to check this out, Jack's World. So Jack's is worth every penny store. I don't think I've been in here before, Lady Orleans, but I have walked past it and there's always a line here. Always a line. Sorry everybody, I'm just trying to catch up on the comments. Peace Ghost says, Tom, what's your take on hospital bill forgiveness for low-income workers? I am for that. I actually wrote, it's so interesting, Peace Ghost, that you brought that up. I actually wrote an article on that in college. I will share it, but I won't go into that too much on this stream because I'll take this stream to like 5 hours. But when I was in college, I actually wrote a piece on that about low-income people and healthcare and how we could sort of change the healthcare system in the United States. So that's a great question, Peace Ghost. Great question. But in essence, overall, I think is if you're below a certain income in the United States, I think you should be provided free healthcare. And there are ways we could do it. Look into this politician called Andrew Yang. He's actually not really a politician. He's a technologist and an entrepreneur. And Andrew Yang explains some of that stuff very, very well. Hey, Soho guy's still here. Out and About says, I might have a client for you in Toronto. Out and About, I would love that. That's extremely kind of you to do that. Really, really nice. Shoot me an email at wallstreetskatebro@gmail.com. Gerald Lee says, you just passed by the Pennsylvania Hotel. I stayed there once. How did you like it, Gerald? Was it good? The ABX girl says, Walmart will have their own brand of insulin at 80% less savings per month. At 80% less savings per month. So I'm assuming that's a good thing. Because insulin is extremely, extremely expensive in the United States. If you go to Canada or Mexico, you can get insulin extremely, extremely cheap. The healthcare system in the United States is a big mess. Hey, Choo Choo Lady Jay's here. Says, good evening, Tom. How are you today? I'm very good. Choo Choo Lady Jay, hope you had a fantastic day. It's Wednesday. For me, it's pretty much the end of the week. I'm gonna take off tomorrow and the next day. And we have the great view of the Empire State Building. So if anybody wants to drop an exclamation point swan in the chat, the Nightbot that I programmed will drop the swan's comment in the chat. Hey, Real says, Tom, give me $1 million and I'll have my grandkids pay you back. Reels, if I had $1 million, I'd give it to you, pal. Reels is our friend. He also does amazing streams, Reels. My favorite one was of Santa Monica Pier. I've never been to California, so it looked amazing. So please check him out, please. Please. So we're headed to Koreatown, but let me just catch up on these things. No self. No self is, I think, is new here. It says, my niece finds your voice very soothing. Can you please give her a shout out? Her name is Valentina. Well, shout out to Valentina. I hope you're having a phenomenal day, phenomenal week. Great day, wherever you're from, and thank you for joining the stream. And thank you for all the kind words. So shout out to Valentina in the chat, and thank you, No Self, for joining the channel. I appreciate it, thank you. That was very nice. Scream Orange says, you make everyone feel very welcome on your channel. Great host. Well, Scream Orange, I appreciate that. You guys are also very kind to me. So I think it's only appropriate that I reciprocate that same positivity. There's no need to be nasty, right? We're all hanging out. So this is Koreatown on West 31st Street in Broadway. It's my favorite place in the city. Amazing food, amazing people. Yes, there we go. The Swan, Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. The Swan is our moderator from Ireland, and he is the staple and the backbone of this channel. The Swan is, if there was no Swan, there'd be no stream. A lot of people don't realize that, but if there was no Swan, there would be no Wall Street Skate Bro. So thank you, the Swan. We appreciate you, pal. The Swan says, I don't get the reality of New York City. Looking at it here, it doesn't hit me. Well, the Swan, come out, fly from Ireland, and we'll have a good time. Photos from around New York says, I've been to Jack's before many times. Good deals. So what do they sell exactly? Is it just like a 99-cent store? Do they sell food? So, because maybe I'll go there to buy like toiletries and things like that. If I can get toothpaste for like $1, maybe it's advantageous to go there. Who knows? Cosmo Scary says, Andrew Yang crying face. Look, I love Andrew Yang. I think he would have made a great addition in New York. Brilliant guy, sharp guy. We don't need any more career politicians. We need entrepreneurs. We need people that understand technology. We need people that are compassionate, and we need people that have the wherewithal to make some positive change. And that guy is Andrew Yang. But unfortunately, he lost. Yeah, Zap Balances love Andrew Yang. I love Andrew Yang. Absolutely love Andrew Yang. Tom is a wonderful host. Thanks, everybody. You just broke 125 tonight, says Joe Hernandez. Well, everybody that's new, I appreciate all of the new viewers joining the channel. Unfortunately, tonight it had to be a walking show. We usually skateboard around New York City. So if you're interested in that type of content, feel free to subscribe and like the video. And we talk about finance, we talk about all types of subjects, food, anything. Hey, Jail's here, what's up? Hey, Tech Explorers NYC is here. What's up, Tech Explorers NYC? Winnebago Lake Fly. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but thank you for subscribing, and we appreciate you being here, and welcome to the stream. One of the reasons why I like Andrew Yang is because he's just a regular guy, right? He's not some egotistical billionaire that's just trying to win a race or win an election just for his own ego. I think he's actually like a genuine person, and you know, there's a lot to be said about that. There's not many people in this world, especially in politics, that are truly genuine, and I think he wants to do it for the right reasons. He's not doing it for ego. Hey, JL's here. What's up, JL? JL is one of our moderators here. Welcome to the chat. I'll pull off to the side here and catch up on the comments. Sometimes they go so fast, but I feel bad if I miss any. Hey, Pink, Techno Pink is here. It says hello from the Dominican Republic. We love the Dominican Republic. When I worked in Brooklyn, New York, I used to work in East New York, Brooklyn. Unbelievable Dominican restaurants in East New York. So if anybody's in East New York, if you get off at the Broadway Junction train station, you'll have some amazing places there. But Tech Explores NYC, thank you so much. Yes, Soho guy said exclamation point Druck. So if anybody wants to listen to an interview of one of the greatest investors of all time, his name is Stanley Druckenmiller. Please click the link. It's the 2021 Student Investment Fund Annual Meeting keynote by Stanley Druckenmiller. And he details the Federal Reserve, how they're inflating or artificially inflating asset bubbles. So if anybody's interested in that, feel free to check out Stanley Druckenmiller, his exclusive interview. He's a genius. And he was a portfolio manager that actually worked under George Soros. Not to be controversial. Yeah, Gerald Lee says Yang seems like a decent guy. Yeah, he's a good guy, and he actually understands how to run a business. And he has some extremely good ideas. And he understands technology, automation, artificial intelligence. Andrew Yang is phenomenal. He should have won. I don't even know who else was running. Photos from around New York says, yeah, they sell many items for $1, but I think they sell more items than that. Interesting. Soho guy says, hey Tom, didn't Fidelity close that fund to the public? Which fund? The Magellan Fund? Yeah, Magellan is closed to the public, I believe. But Peter Lynch was one of the best portfolio managers to ever live. He ran the mutual fund Magellan, Fidelity Magellan. Lady Orlean says, did the Swan encourage you to stream? No, but I think the Swan was one of our first viewers, and he's a hilarious guy. He came up with that saying, the Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. Hey, Roxanne, I believe, is new to the stream. Says, just came across your channel. I love the walk since I can't walk right now due to a broken foot in 3 places. Wow. So I will just walk with all of you lovely people. Well, that is really terrible that happened to you. I apologize. Hopefully you didn't get into some sort of an accident. I wish you a speedy recovery, Roxanne. But on this channel, it's actually pretty interesting. We usually don't walk around. We actually usually skateboard around New York City, but due to the weather, we couldn't. So welcome to the channel, and I hope to see you on more live streams in the future. Yeah, Yang seems like a decent guy. Zap Allen says, George, isn't he going to jail? Who's George? Yang Gang. Yeah, James says Yang Gang. JL says bad thunderstorms. Yeah, there was really bad thunderstorms today. Tom, you started out with only 11 people on your first night. Now you broke your own record. Yeah, I think when I first started streaming, I think we had about 4 people. I think it was JL, Sunshine After Rain, and I think the Swan, and maybe Lady Orleans. I think so, yeah. Lady Orleans, the Swan, and we were just skateboarding around, cruising around. Oh, and Andrew as well. Andrew is our pal from Australia. Hey, Felix. Peace Ghost says, Tom, are you gelling? I'm not sure what that means. Could you clarify what that means? So why is he saying that if it wasn't for the Swan, this channel wouldn't exist, the Swan? Lady Orleans, it's just like it's a running joke on the channel, because the Swan, when I first started streaming and skateboarding, he would always comment, he's like, I just can't believe how crazy this looks. This looks amazing, I don't know how you do it. And he was in awe by the Empire State Building and all the other massive buildings. So he would make all of these comments and all of these interesting sayings. So it was just funny. The Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. That's all the Swan. So the Swan is our good pal from Ireland. He's a great guy. He's funny. But Lady Orleans too. You know, if there was, with any of the viewers, you know, if there was no viewers, there'd be no channel. JL, yep. Soho guy says, hey, doesn't the S&P return 7% a year? Yeah, so on average, the S&P 500 will usually return about 8 to 10% per year. So the theory is the majority of portfolio managers on Wall Street, over the long period of time, they actually don't outperform the S&P 500. The vast majority of people do not outperform the market. So what I recommend is anybody who wants to get involved in investing and that doesn't really know much about it, I would read the book Common Sense Investing by Jack Bogle. And we've gone over this many times. Jack Bogle is the founder of the Vanguard Group. He's the CEO and founder of the Vanguard Group. He unfortunately died, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. But he exposed what was going on Wall Street with the really irrational fee income. So if you were investing into a mutual fund, you would pay a 2% management fee as well as a front load or a back end load fee. So he said, well, why don't we make the fees extremely, extremely low and create essentially an index to track either the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, or people can just buy the broader stock market and not have to pay all these fees. And the majority of mutual funds on Wall Street do not outperform the S&P 500. And there's nothing wrong with the mutual fund industry, but I think disruptive people like Jack Bogle has brought down the fees on Wall Street, because now you have no load funds on Wall Street. So the majority of mutual funds actually don't have any loads. And what a load fee is, let's say if you want to invest $10,000 into a mutual fund, back in the day, they would charge you 5% of your $10,000 right up front. It's called a front load. And they also charge you a 5% back load fee. Now there's no load funds, and the fees for the management fees every year are less than 2%. So I think Jack Bogle did a ton for the average retail investor. So check out that book, Common Sense Investing by Jack Bogle. And if you type !Bogle, no, or !Jack in the chat, you'll get an interesting interview with Jack Bogle before he died. So we're on East 27th Street, near the Chipotle and this little cart guy. Hey, Sierra Friend is here. What's up, Sierra? Thank you for being here, Sierra. Says it's been cool to watch your channel grow. Yeah, Sunshine After Rain, I remember that. I would live stream from my window. Sunshine After Rain would be the only person hanging out with me. Hey, Oscar Fish says, that's a great story. Now you have a pal from Australia. and New Zealand. Awesome. Love that, Oscar Fish. Welcome to the channel. I hope to see you on more streams. Zap Allen said, you said George Soros for some reason. I was thinking Alan Weisberg. Yeah, George Soros is a legendary investor, but he's very controversial. I don't really want to get into it. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about it. But Stanley Druckenmiller worked under George Soros, and Stanley Druckenmiller is arguably one of the best investors of all time. And so that's one of the reasons why I created this channel, is because I see a lot of misinformation out there about people saying how you should trade penny stocks and all of this these memes or whatever they're called, and Dogecoin and all this crazy stuff that doesn't have any earnings or sales. But if you just read what the best investors on Wall Street do, they buy companies with good, solid, fundamental earnings and sales growth. Because over time, the stock prices will always follow earnings. So if a company doesn't have any earnings growth, the stock price will have no appreciation. So that's why I don't understand why people push to trade penny stocks or buy penny stocks, because these companies are going to go out of business. They don't have any revenue. They don't have any earnings, right? So it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to invest your money, you work hard for your money. Don't piss it away by buying some penny stock scheme. Invest into real companies with real earnings. Hey, In America 3's here. What's up, In America 3? Raphael says Post Malone. Love Post Malone. Post Malone was born in Syracuse, New York. Post Malone is great. Is there anything that's indexed to the Dow Jones? Yes, there is. But photos from around New York, the Dow Jones is only made up of 30 stocks. So I wouldn't bother with the Dow Jones. What you want to do is you want to get exposure to the broad market. So like the S&P 500 is the biggest 500 companies in America, and the NASDAQ is a very tech-heavy weighted index. Out and About says, to invest, you need extra pocket change. You can invest with as little as $50 a month, $25 a month. I think it's just about getting started somewhere. Eyewitness News, Greenpoint lost power. Wow. Joe Hernandez, I used to live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Greenpoint was a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood of Brooklyn. I lived there for about a year. And then I moved to Manhattan once the rents started to come down a little bit. But we're now at Madison Square Park. Zap Allen says, I didn't realize the Dow was only made up of 30 stocks yet, and the Dow Jones actually just added Salesforce this past year. So Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM, was actually just added into the index. But that interview with Stanley Druckenmiller is so important to listen to, because the number one thing that's the most important to know about in the investment world, if you want to get involved, is the Federal Reserve and interest rates. Because finance is essentially the business of money, which is buying or lending money at rates. And the Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates artificially low, which is inflating artificial bubbles, like in the housing market, in the equities market. And that's why you're seeing housing prices inflate 25% in the past years, because the Federal Reserve won't raise rates. And they're still buying about $50 billion in MBS, or mortgage-backed securities, every single month. So check that out. Stanley Druckenmiller, one of the greatest investors of all time. He details exactly what the Federal Reserve is doing. And his number one question about investments is, look, if you want to know where the stock market's going to go, you got to follow the Federal Reserve. Are interest rates, are they lowering interest rates? Are they raising rates? It's called tapering. So if the Fed is going to start to taper, that means they're going to ease back on their purchasing of assets, and they're going to raise interest rates. So it's a very interesting time now on Wall Street, because inflation is running rampant and everybody's pounding the table for the Federal Reserve to raise rates. but they're just not doing it. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes about it. And we are at 23rd Street, Madison Square Park. You can get the R and the W trains. Zap balances, yes, it's exciting to see Tom's channel grow. It's exciting to hang out with you guys every night. It's awesome talking and hanging out with you guys. Hey, Gerald Lee says, can't wait to see you stream on Fire Island, Fernando. I know, I'm looking forward to that too. Fernando, you're gonna love Fire Island. Fire Island is beautiful. You're gonna love it, Fernando. So I'm a Long Islander myself, so I know about Fire Island. You're gonna have a blast. Fire Island is a very large LGBTQ population on Fire Island. Raphael says, do you have any friends from Brazil? Raphael, I have a couple friends from Brazil that I played soccer with, that were recruited from Brazil to play soccer in the United States. They played soccer for Baruch College. I played for a competitor school here in Manhattan. So yeah, I do have a couple Brazilian friends. They're very talented soccer players. Super Friends in the City says, I go there every summer. Yeah, Super Friends, you're gonna love. Isn't it great? It's fun, right? You're gonna have a blast. Tech Explorers NYC says Fire Island is nice. It's really nice. You got to take the ferry. Long Island, New York during the summer is a really, really nice place. Really good place to go. All right, everybody, I'm just going to take a breather here on the bench. So please stand by. We can look at the beautiful architecture here. But Raphael, thank you for joining the stream. Suzanne says, Brazil, amazing. Mark Davis says, Tom, do you follow any cannabis industry stocks or science, endocannabinoid systems research? So a lot of those companies right now, Mark Davis, are not really investable. And the one of the reasons why I'm staying away from it now is because we need to fix the problem between the United States and Canada about the legalities of moving weed and marijuana back and forth. And there's also a very interesting thing that's going on in the industry in regards to banking and financing. So right now, if you run a medical marijuana business in the United States, you can't bank with anything. So it's an all cash business, which is extremely dangerous. So the United States is behind the 8 ball on marijuana. So once we can clean that up, you know, I think it'll be investable, but I think there's some great stuff coming out. But we did go through a little bit of a marijuana penny stock pump and dumps boom and bust, which I was telling everybody to stay away from those things because they're all pre-revenue. The majority of those companies are pre-revenue companies, but there are some companies that are very, very good that I think are going to be big winners. Photos from around New York says that's ironic because you can literally see power plants across the East River from Greenpoint. Photos from around New York, I think the biggest issue is that we closed the nuclear power plant on Indian Creek, I believe it's called, or Indian Point. And nuclear power is actually the cleanest form of energy. It's a zero emissions energy source. Oscar Fish has recently invested only $100 into a logistics company on the NZX here. Thought I'd see what the hype was all about. Been fun learning curve. Yeah, so what I recommend, Oscar, is many people, you know, they get excited about the stock market because all the stocks are going up, and they start to buy individual stocks. But unless you really know about the company, I would stay away from individual stocks at first. What I would recommend, and what a lot of money managers recommend, is your first $10,000 invested should be invested into a low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Because what that'll do is that'll give you the investment bug, right? So once you have money invested in the broad stock market, you're diversified across a wide range of companies in all different sectors. So you'll own companies in the tech sector, you'll own companies in the oil and gas sector, consumer staples, companies that have large exposures to commodity cycles. So it gives you the peace of mind of being more diversified, and it'll probably lower the overall volatility curve of your portfolio. And while you're dollar cost averaging into an index fund, you're learning, right? So, let's say you work a 9-to-5 job, and then at night you can come home and you can read a couple of books by, Jack Bogle, Peter Lynch, William J. O'Neill, and you start to learn and you start to understand how to evaluate companies the proper way, right? The last thing you want to do is you don't want to buy all these penny stocks and stocks that are pre-revenue, especially a lot of the companies that are SPACs, which are special purpose acquisition companies, which I think is probably the largest bubble and largest Ponzi scheme on Wall Street, but we'll talk about that in another stream. But SPACs is their whole other new frenzy, which are essentially shell companies where they're raising money and then they find the company to invest the money in. But yeah, SPACs is probably a sector of the stock market that is a little bit frothy, or I would say extremely frothy. So I would dollar cost average into an index fund first, and then spend every single waking minute and every hour learning how to evaluate a company, right? Learning how to build financial models, learning how to build a discounted cash flow model, things like that. All right, everybody, I think we're gonna end it right here, just about at 2 hours in Madison Square Park. So I appreciate everybody joining. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. We usually skateboard, but we got rained out tonight. So thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, Reels, the rain sort of moved out of here fast. So this is the One Vanderbilt building here. In America 3 says, or hire somebody to do it for you. Yeah, the problem with that in America 3 is the fees. You want to reduce the amount of fees that you pay to Wall Street. So let me see if I don't want to miss any of the chats. Yeah, Fire Island, cool. It's all pedestrians, yep. Fancy Face is SSO Fernando. Hello everybody, first time to this channel. So Fancy Face, love to have you here. Welcome, and I hope to see you on the next one. Mark Davis says thank you, Fernando, Super Friends in the City, Fire Island. Yes, Fire Island is a great place to visit. It's a fun place. Zap Balance says I've never heard of Fire Island. Tech Explorers NYC, yes, I drive to the town called Bayshore on Long Island, park at the marina overnight and take the ferry over. Yep. Zap Balance says LOL, will be interesting, Fernando, to watch. Yep. Have a good night, Lady Orleans. Thank you so much. Zap Balance says I enjoy your streams, Fernando. I do too. So everybody who's in the chat, please check out our pal, Super Friends in the City. Extremely entertaining. If you want to see a very different sort of show, Fernando goes around and interviews people in Times Square. He's very interactive, very different channel. He's a natural born talent, a natural born entertainer, Fernando. So please check him out. Super Friends in the Cities. Very good personality. Great show. The greatest of all time. I know he loves when I say that. And Reels too. Reels is also streams. Again, I said my favorite one from Santa Monica, so check out Reels, and also check out Out and About. She's from Canada, Toronto, Canada. So if anybody is interested in seeing sort of the reopening and tours of Toronto, please check out our pal Out and About. Hey, Lupe is still here. Gerald Lee, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. Be safe. Sunshine After Rain, thank you so much for being here as always. In America 3, good night. Always good to see you in America 3. In America 3 is one of our regular viewers, so we love having In America 3 in the chat. Raphael, good night. Hey, Josh D, good night. Hope you enjoyed it. Michael DaCosta says, Tom, going home now. And Daily Soul live camera is live now, so please check out our friends in Korea. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Roy J is here. Have a nice one. Good night, Tom, and good evening. So thanks so much. Hey, Razzle Dazzle 786 is also a regular viewer of the stream. It's always fun hanging out with you, Tom. Thank you. And I believe Razzle Dazzle is an MRI technologist, right? An MRI tech. So thank you for being a healthcare worker, Razzle Dazzle. Sally, welcome to the stream and thank you for joining. Miguel, thank you for being here. Out and about, thank you so much. Everybody be safe. The cities are opening up, the economies are opening up, people are driving crazy. Make sure you look both ways before you cross the street. Daily Soul live camera says thank you, Tom. Please check out Daily Soul live camera. We love our viewers in Asia, in South Korea. Beautiful country. Please go check them out. Zap Allen says, Tom, will you be doing a live stream show on Thursday? I will not. Probably not. I'm headed out to Long Island to visit some family and friends. Mark Davis is our pal from Toronto, Canada. This is a pleasure always, Tom, seeing you. And Mark, I promise, I will check out 72nd Street on the other stream. Hey, Peace Ghost, thank you so much for joining. Is a new viewer, Peace Ghost. Says, Tom, you are an outstanding teacher. Peace Ghost, thank you for the kind words. You're extremely, extremely nice to me. So thank you so much for that. I mean, I really appreciate everybody being here. Joe Hernandez, good night. Lupe, as always. Lupe is our pal. She is from, I try to remember where everybody's from. I think she is from Oklahoma. Yes, got it, Oklahoma. We love Oklahoma. Oscar Fish says, wow, thanks for the advice. It's been a great time here with you and a chat. Subbed and we'll sure be here again. So Oscar, hopefully the next time we see each other, we'll be on the skateboard. Hey, Sierra says, bye, Tom. Have a great night. Sierra friend, thank you so much for being here. The ABX girl from the Bronx has a wealth of knowledge from working on Wall Street. So always love to have her in the chat. So thank you so much, ABX girl, for being here. Sunshine After Rain, thank you so much. In America, Reels, our pal Reels, thank you. Soho guys, thank you. Daniel G from Argentina, Buenos Aires, thank you so much, appreciate it. And I think I got everybody. Michael DaCosta, thank you so much, appreciate it. Ryan Rides says, take it easy, man, looking forward to the next one. Ryan, thank you, appreciate it. Ryan also does a show in Toronto, check him out. Sue Lane says, I'm in the Bronx too. Hey, we have a lot of people in the Bronx tonight, which is great. So Sue, thank you for joining the channel. We love the Bronx. I used to do some work in the Bronx. I would take the train to the Grand Concourse. My favorite thing about that is I was working with the home healthcare agency at the time. And right next door, they had the best Mexican restaurant I've ever been to in my life. So I love the Bronx. I love going there. I love the food. I love the people. So thank you so much. Photos from around New York says, Tom, how do you remember all your viewers? So everybody, Photos from around New York is a great, great guest. He's always here, and he takes amazing photos from around the city. So if anybody has an Instagram and wants to check him out, I think his name, what is it called on Instagram? I don't have one, but I think it's called Your Name on Instagram is Photos from Around New York. So please check that out if you're interested in seeing photos from around New York. Mark Davis out and about. Take it easy, everybody. I'm gonna sign off now. I really gotta head home. Hey, Tech Explorers NYC. Always love having you here. Tech Explorers NYC is a fellow tech worker in New York. Always love having him in. Swing Boxes says good night. Swing Boxes is also a new viewer. Hey, Malik says, damn, unlucky me, am I late? Yeah, Malik, we are just ending, but not to worry. We will be back again someday, but hopefully on the back of a skateboard, because usually we skateboard around the city and talk about finance and investing and all other stuff. So Malik, good to have you here. One says, have you ever shown your face? I have, on Fernando's stream. But right now I'm just in the middle of building a business, so I don't like to too much, but we will in more streams, we will. But one, thank you for being here. But if you look me up on the internet, you could find me. I was on a relatively large podcast, Akram's Razor, talking about technology. So if you listen to the Akram's Razor podcast, I was a guest on there. Roy J says, I'm going to listen to Bogle's audiobook tonight. Thanks again for the good info. Yes, so Roy J, here's an amazing thing about that. All of this information is available online for free. So if anybody types in One Up on Wall Street on YouTube, you could actually listen to the entire audiobook of Peter Lynch's One Up on Wall Street for free. You don't have to pay anybody anything. It costs you nothing. You can listen to it from the comfort of your car, and you can learn how to invest the proper way for free. That's the whole point of the channel. We're trying to raise awareness to say, hey, you don't need to fall for all of these charlatans that try to sell you penny stock courses. You could do everything yourself, and you can learn a lot and learn to invest the proper way for pretty much for free. So all of these audiobooks are for free online on YouTube. Please check them out. Daniel G says, thanks for your advice on Investors Business Daily. I've been reading and looking pretty much on what I was looking for. Yeah, so Investors Business Daily is a great company. They were actually just acquired by News Corp, which owns Fox News and New York Post. So it was a new acquisition. And I know a couple people over there, Arusha Pires, very, very smart people. Let's see. Yeah, Roy J found it. So maybe I'll program the Nightbot to actually put direct YouTube links to some of these audiobooks for free. So if anybody's on a really, really tight budget, you guys can get all these books for free online. All right, everybody, I really got to go now. So take it easy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Everybody be safe out there. And I'll leave you off with the Empire State Building. So thanks for everybody for tagging along. So I'll leave you off with the Empire State Building. Let's get a swan, exclamation point swan in the chat. And we'll end it here. So thanks, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you all on the next stream. Have a good one. There we go. So Empire State Building equals signpost equals know where you are. The swan, there we go. Thanks, everybody. Rosalinda Cortez, thank you for joining. All right, everybody, I really got to go. Thanks so much.